Hello everybody, my name is Derek and this is a video response to Darryl Sloan's video, December 21st, 2012, A Spiritual Awakening. He is the author of the book Reality Check, a magnificent book which deals with reality in the sense of more towards religion. He was a Christian before, renounced his religion. Don't blame him, after all, I used to be part of that type of religious group also. Of course, mine was Catholic, and I'm not a big fan of that kind of religion. Anyway, this is about December 21st, 2012, the Mayan calendar, and not that much about religion. Mr. Sloan mentioned at the start of his video that 2012 is not significant at all, and that he has not studied the Mayan calendar. If I needed to get my tires replaced on my car, see, I would rather go to somebody who has studied how to replace tires if, of course, I did not know how to do so. And after watching your video, you actually do find it significant. And I'll tell you why later on within this video. He moves on to ask that why do you believe, or why do I believe, that December 21st is the beginning of a new chapter for mankind. He then went on to ask, do you believe it because the people believe it with the same spiritual mindset that others, and everyone's talking about it, so you just jump on board? And then he goes on stating, well, isn't that like religion? I personally pride myself majorly on being not only different than the common person, but vastly different than the common person. For my religion has a population of 1, most likely, and that's me. For if you believe in any one thing that's different than what I believe in, it's not the same. Whatever my belief systems are, that's my religion. And my beliefs will change based on new intuition energies that come in, and based on new facts that I'm able to receive. At one point, I used to think the name rapture, was an evil, negative word. And then I looked at the definition, I'm like, man, my belief is wrong. Moving on. As far as jumping on board to this 2012 shift, that is, no. For 2007 was a year where I was getting intuitive energies, source energies, channeling energies, I don't know what it was, whatever you call it. And that's where a lot of information that I have later researched was the same as many other Mayan researchers. It's like, wow. In May of 2007, I had no idea about this 2012 prophecy, none whatsoever. All right, let's see. Next page. Darryl went on to say, why do you feel you need something to happen on the December 21st date? And I don't. What I want to do soon is make a video on greed, because everybody's greedy. At least it seems that everybody's greedy. And I don't mean by money, although many are greedy by money. I used to be greedy by money, and I'm definitely not anymore. What am I greedy about? Information. That's what I want to know. So if I want to know information, that's what I want to get. And I want to get what's relevant to me. What I need to know. That's what I'm hugely greedy about right now. And you mentioned that you said December 21st is going to come and roll on to the 22nd, the 23rd, 24th, yada, yada, yada. And it's going to be like it was before, like it is today, like it was last month, like it will be a year from now. So now the question I ask you, isn't that religion? That's a belief system. You are believing that it's going to be the same. Just wanted to point that out. And this is where I believe you believe in the Mayan calendar. Big time, at least from my point of view. Because if you research anything on the Mayan calendar, you're probably not going to find this information out unless it comes from me, and that is the world getting better. You said Look at how much better the world is today, or life is today, than it was in 1950. Things that are working on improvement. That's nature of life. And you don't put any stock into this date 2012 whatsoever, you said. You said the nature of life. For I think, my theory is that of a natural law, a universal law, how we keep on moving to a more positive and positive world. So yes, things are better today as they were in 1950, as it was better in 1950 than in 1800, as it was better in 1800 than it was when the time of the biblical days were here, and so on and so on. And from the research that I have been doing, this date, whatever date it happens to be, whether it's the 21st of December, whether it's June 21st, 2013, or whether it's August the 9th, 2018, whatever, seems as if it's a day where it reaches a tipping point. For you were mentioning that 2012 is that spiritual awakening. Well, people are awakening right now. It's not just 2012. It's 2007, it's 2008, 2009, 2010, 2011, 2012, 2013, 14, 15, 16, and so on. People are waking up, and it's a process and not an event. But it seems within the Mayan calendar that things move 20 times faster. Therefore, the amount of creation that took place from around 3000 and something BC to around 1750 AD matches the amount of creation from 1750 to 2000. 20 times faster. Thus, from 2000 to April of 2012, or 12 years, then you go from 12 years to, well, what's 20 times faster than 12 years? Like 7-8 months? Then you talk about a few weeks. Then you talk about a few days, a few hours, minutes, seconds, ascension. That's what it seems as if is where it's moving towards. I don't know this for sure. I'm trying to find the answers. After all, I'm very greedy in trying to find out information. I want to know facts. I want it to work with logic, and so on. Now, as far as 2012 signs are concerned, there's plenty and plenty of signs that are happening. If you're not seeing them, then you're not looking. You are, what's the word when you're stubborn and you just don't want to, closed-minded, I don't know. You're in stubborn closed-mindedness. You just can't see it because you're not looking in the right places. But if you look at the signs, I think the most recent one that's really big is that of the BP oil spill. It just happened, and the mainstream media not really giving us the information that we should be getting. But then you could say 100 years ago the Titanic sank, and if an event like that were to take place today or next month, people would be saying it's a sign of 2012. But in reality, it's all about how much of these things are happening, how often are they happening, how frequently, how intenseful are these events happening. So you got the BP oil spill, you got the 911 situation, which happened at the start of this current cycle. The BP oil spill, we're at the halfway point of the cycle. It seems as if big events happen at the start and midway points of each cycle. And with 911, people are awakening to what's going on. We're finding out the truth. For it's been prophesized that the cycle we are in now currently is that of ethics. We got out of power. So for years and years, human consciousness, and probably all consciousness, had this extra feeling of power to just powerfully do whatever. You look at the size of the buildings that came into play, the population increase that was so huge. I think it's not evident. I think it's proof that we had a major surplus in power in the 19th and 20th century, especially in the 20th century. So now we're in this ethical point of view. And you could say, oh, how ethical is it when we have all this corruption going on? Keyword, more ethical. For how powerful were we? We could have done a heck of a lot more over the last 200 years, but we just increased the amount of power that we have. We should be increasing the amount of ethics. I know for myself, personally, heck, I'm going through a huge ethical shift myself. Don't know about you, but I know I am. And part of ethics is finding truth, knowing the truth. It is unethical to lie to somebody. Therefore, this is why the truth movement should be taking place. You got the swine flu situation, and some might say, oh, that was nothing. We don't know that yet. We don't know that yet because swine flu was a major, major news event in the year 2009. Big time, big time. And then it just stopped. You just didn't hear it anymore. Now, I don't know if there's something going on with the vaccines, and I think there is, but it looks like it's a potential sign for 911. You got the bees that are dying off, which is colony collapse disorder. There's so many. I'm not only going to go through a few. The biggest two for me, the economy, which is dying, as it should. If we're moving into a positive world, we have to destroy what's negative. And if the majority of consciousness is that of negative, then obviously we're going to get negative manifestations back in our life. And as we move to that 2012 date, or whatever time we hit that point, where it seems as if the dualistic energies will move 50-50, 50% positive, 50% negative, that's when the ascension should take place. And then moving forward, you move positive. 50% positive, then 50.1% positive, 51%, 52, 53, so on and so on, which should bring many great changes. But we got to get through this economic system now. Once again, we have the mainstream trying to tell us we have economic recovery and everything going on. No. And I got this resource-based economy shirt on because to me that symbolizes what a love, energy, a positive economy would look like. And I truly believe many, many years after the ascension, probably about 3 or 4 or 5, 6 to 10 decades, we will be in some sort of resource-based economy. And I think the biggest sign that we have for 2012 is the changes in the weather patterns. And we've always had hurricanes and tornadoes and earthquakes and floods and so on, droughts. But the prophecies state more often and more frequent. So the question is, are these disasters happening more often, more frequently, more intenseful? And I think it's an obvious yes. Because based on how exponentially it seems things are moving, the way this should work out, say in a month the world normally has 7 big disasters. Then the next month, a little over 7, 7.2. Then it's 7.4. Then you have 8 disasters. Then 9. Then all of a sudden you have 20 disasters. 25, 30, 50, 60, 100, 500. I don't know how high it's going to get until it hits that major tipping point, or the 50-50 dualistic energies. And that's what it seems as if we are potentially moving towards. At least I look for evidence. I love the word evidence because evidence brings us facts and proof. They say the evidence of 911 is an inside job. Well, how much evidence do we need for it to become proof? Anyway, thank you for watching this video. Thank you, Darryl, for your channel and making your videos. Awesome book. I love it. And his channel, if you go to my page, I'll link to his channel, would be available, but it's also in the more information box, and the link to his video would also be in the more information box. Now, on a side note, I don't know why this happens, but every so often I get a period where my feet just shakes, and it gets in an energy point of view, and it's starting to do so now. Let's see if I can see it happen here. I don't know why it does that. It happens every so often. I don't know if it's how I pick up energies. It's kind of weird, and I'm used to it by now. Anyway, yeah. Usually when the feet shaking occurs, it happens during like a sort of like a meditation state, when I'm picking up all these energies, when a lot of times when I'm writing an email that's got this powerful information in it, and then I get to the point of automated writing. I don't understand this kind of stuff too much, but I want to, and that's part of the spiritual awakening, because I believe that there's a good chance that this whole 2012 thing is going to be that massive for when you get to the next cycle, which is that of conscious co-creation, which, if 2012 is correct, should happen by Halloween of 2012, you're going to know the Mayan calendar is real at that point, because it's going to be nothing like it is today. Thank you for watching. Have yourself a magnificent day. Bye-bye.